Hey everybody, welcome back to Faraday Research, and tonight I've been doing some experimentation with the Don Smith generator. The last little while I've been working on disruptive discharge and also resonance of the coil. So I got this coil hooked up here, basically from the spark gap, go in one end of the coil, come out from the other end of the coil, goes into the positive end of the light bulb, and then the negative comes out here and goes to ground. So pretty basic setup. So I got it set at about 6.8. I'm gonna actually turn it down just a little bit, try to get it closer to 6. All right. So the idea is you have to get a balance between disruptive discharge and the resistive load, which would be your light bulb or anything that you're powering, will affect the performance of your coil. You'll either make your coil pulsate or it will actually go into resonance, and what will happen is your amperage will be very minimal. So I got this running at about 3.3, 3.5 watts, and this is 8 watts out. So, and it's fully illuminated. So as a result, that means I know my coil's in perfect resonance. Now, if it was not in resonance, it will start drawing a bigger load off the power source. And what will happen is your amps on your power source are going to spike. They'll hit over an amp or two. So I've been playing around with especially tuning the spark gap. Your disruptive discharge, I'm learning, is very, very critical on how you tune your coil to get into resonant frequency. So they go hand in hand, but as well as the load or the resistance in the circuit will determine how your coil is performing. Now, if it's not in resonance, this light will pulsate quite a bit. So I'm going to just fire it up. I just want to see, I did a little adjustment to it, so I want to see how it's going to work here. Okay, so it's fully illuminated. So it's 6.2 volts at 3.4. Yeah, it's like hovering around 3 watts, give or take, around that range. And that light is fully illuminated. Now, there is a little bit of pulsation there because I did a little adjustment on the voltage. That will also determine the resonant frequency of this. So it's a balancing act, like I said. So you got to have the right resistance, the coil, and also the disruptive discharge will really determine the performance if that coil is in resonance. So right now, from what I could see, it's in resonant frequency. Okay, so it went up. It's starting to settle out a bit now. So 6.3 volts at 0.46 amps. So about 3.5 watts, give or take. And she's fully lit. Now you can see the spark gap. It's very, very tiny. Now I can change the dynamics of the system. Now I can make this coil pulsate. All right. Now you got to be careful when it's pulsating, because now you're going to create an EMP. Now, whenever you pulse a coil at high frequency, high voltage, and it's pulsating at a quick rate, you're creating an EMP. So you kind of have to be careful with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out the light bulb. This one's 8 watts. And I'm going to put in a 5.5 watt. Now you're going to see this thing's going to pulsate. So basically now the coil is not in resonant frequency anymore. You're getting a back EMF effect, also an EMP effect. Because if you get enough power going through it, the LED display on here actually starts to pulsate and flash. That means I'm actually doing damage to this, so I kind of have to be careful when I do it. So let's just see how this goes. See how it's pulsating like that? Now you'll also notice that the amperage decreased. See, it's gone down from like almost four. Yeah, see, now it's going back up again. So it's starting to find itself. It'll actually adjust itself, but it is pulsating. Fully lit though, completely lit, like 100%. Like, I'll turn the light off here. And you can see how bright it is. So right there, it's running at about 3.5, almost 4 watts. But it's pulsating now. That coil is not in resonant frequency. If it was, it would be solid and a lot less load on the source. Now we can go a step further again, and I can actually take this off the lead, and now we're creating EMP. See how I change it? See? So that totally changes the dynamic of this situation. I actually have to be careful when I do this, that I don't fry myself in the process. So yeah, you can really see how disruptive discharge, resistive load, basically controls the frequency of your coil. So if you get it in a certain frequency and you start getting that flashing like I just did, you're getting EMPs. Now you're sending electromagnetic pulses out, which can damage electronics, which I actually did. If you can notice, this light here on that first digit's kind of dim. So I was doing some experiments in the past, and I created quite a massive EMP, and I almost fried it. So you can see how it can damage your electronics. Another thing I did today, I bought some plumber's tubing, 1/4 inch, and I made a primary for this large coil. This coil here I have to rebuild. It's falling apart on me, but yeah, you can get 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch diameter plumber's tubing and roll it, and you can make a really nice primary for your coils. So I did that today. Oh, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, bottom right hand corner, don't forget, I got my Patreon below. You can help me out and support the channel and support my experiments. And I hope you guys got something out of this, because this is, yeah, it's a lot of experimentation to figure out what's going on. But yeah, I was able to get this into resonance, and it's a matter of your disruptive discharge, the coil size, your power input, and your resistive load. Get those all tuned right. This coil will be in resonant frequency, and it'll require very little power to power a big load. So the best result I got today was 3.3 watts, and I was powering 8 watts out. So that's over 60% gain over unity right there. So yeah, I hope you guys got something good out of it. I was pretty happy with what I did tonight. And yeah, so I'll be doing more videos. And yeah, we kind of had a screw up the other night with the scheduling to do a show with Bernie, but hopefully we'll do another show hopefully tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes. It might be an earlier show, so just kind of touch base with the channel and check your email for notifications if we decide to do a show a little bit earlier. But yeah, so yeah, give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and all my donations, Patreon, all that stuff's in the description below, and we'll see everybody soon.